Megan Anderson had always been drawn to the ocean. Growing up in Cape Town, South Africa, she had spent countless hours riding the waves at Baldon Beach. The salty breeze, the crashing of the waves, and the endless expanse of the sea had a way of soothing her soul like nothing else could. The rhythmic dance of the tides had been her lifelong companion, a source of both exhilaration and serenity. From the first time she had felt the sand beneath her toes and tasted the salty mist on her lips, Megan had been captivated by the ever-changing moods of the sea. It was here, amid the powerful embrace of the ocean, that she felt alive and found solace and a deep connection to the natural world that surrounded her. One sunny morning, Megan decided to head to her favorite surf spot alone. Her friends had other commitments, but the ocean's call was too strong to resist. She donned her wetsuit, waxed her surfboard, and paddled into the calm azure waters. The day was perfect. The sky was clear and the sun bathed the coastline in a warm, golden light. As Megan caught her first wave, she felt an exhilarating rush. Riding the crest, she could see the familiar shoreline in the distance. The thrill of the moment surged through her, the saltwater spray on her face invigorating. Her connection to the sea had never felt stronger. But her blissful moment was abruptly shattered when she spotted a shadow moving beneath her. Panic gripped her heart as she realized the shape was no ordinary sea creature. It was unmistakably a great white shark. Its presence sent a shockwave of fear coursing through her veins, transforming the serene waves into a survival battleground. Adrenaline surged through her veins as she instinctively paddled furiously toward the shore. The shark, however, was faster, its sleek form gliding effortlessly through the water. It circled her surfboard, its cold, lifeless eyes locked onto her. Megan's heart pounded as she felt the immense power of the ocean's apex predator. Megan knew she was in grave danger but refused to surrender to her fear. She fought back with every ounce of strength, using her fists and feet to strike at the shark. Her movements were frantic, fueled by sheer terror and the desperate need to survive. The great white shark, surprised by her unexpected resistance, momentarily recoiled. As the shark retreated, Megan continued to strike at the water around her, creating a flurry of splashes and bubbles. It was a battle of survival, a contest between human determination and the primal instincts of a relentless predator. The two forces clashed for what felt like an eternity, and Megan refused to relent. Finally, the great white shark decided the fight was not worthwhile. With a swift flick of its massive tail, it turned away from Megan and swam into the ocean's depths. Megan watched its retreating form until it disappeared, her chest heaving with exhaustion and relief. She slowly maneuvered her surfboard toward the shore, still trembling from the encounter. The beach, once so familiar and inviting, now felt like a place of danger. Megan reached the safety of the sand, her legs wobbly as she staggered out of the water. She collapsed onto the beach, gasping for breath, and thankful for the solid ground beneath her. Word of Megan's encounter spread quickly through the small coastal community. News outlets picked up the story and friends and neighbors gathered at her home, offering support and sharing their stories of close encounters with sharks. Still shaken but grateful to be alive, Megan listened to their tales and realized how fortunate she was to have survived the ordeal. In the following days, Megan's experience was a stark reminder to everyone in Cape Town. The ocean, beautiful and enchanting, held hidden dangers that could strike at any moment. Lifeguards doubled their efforts and warning signs were posted along the coastline, cautioning swimmers and surfers to be vigilant. Megan, however, was undeterred. The ocean still called to her, its siren song too powerful to resist. But she had learned a valuable lesson, never to surf alone. She made a pact with her friends that they would always be each other's guardians in the water, watching out for any signs of danger. Months passed, and Megan returned to Baldon Beach, this time with her closest friends. They laughed and splashed in the waves, their collective presence a shield against the unknown. The memory of the great white shark lingered in the back of her mind, a reminder that the ocean demanded respect, but it didn't diminish her love for the sea. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm orange glow across the water. As the friends rode the waves together, their laughter echoed over the waves, a testament to their resilience and the enduring bond they shared. At that moment, Megan felt deeply grateful for the ocean that had almost taken her life, and the friends who had saved it. Baldon Beach remained a place of beauty and wonder, but now it was also a place of caution and respect. Megan Anderson's encounter with the great white shark had forever changed her, instilling in her a profound reverence for the power of the sea. And as long as she lived, she would continue to surf its waves, always mindful of the unpredictable and magnificent world beneath the surface. Yuki Tanaka had always been drawn to the sea. Growing up in Japan, she developed a deep love for the ocean. When the opportunity arose for a surfing trip with her friends in the picturesque waters of California, Yuki couldn't have been more excited. The clear blue skies and gentle waves welcomed her as she paddled out into the tranquil ocean, the salty breeze brushing against her sun-kissed skin. The day was perfect for surfing, and Yuki felt an exhilarating rush as she caught her first wave. The laughter of her friends echoed in the background as they rode the waves together. The sea had always been a source of joy and serenity for Yuki, where she felt completely at home. But on that fateful day, the idyllic scene was shattered by a sudden and terrifying intrusion. Yuki felt a powerful jolt beneath her surfboard, and she was propelled into the water before she could react. Panic coursed through her veins as she struggled to resurface, disoriented and gasping for air. As she broke through the surface, she realized with horror that a massive great white shark had attacked her. The beast's cold, unfeeling eyes locked onto Yuki, and she could see the rows of sharp teeth glistening in the sunlight. Fear gripped her heart as she desperately tried to swim back to her surfboard. The shark circled her, its powerful form moving with grace and precision. Yuki knew she was in a battle for her life. Frantic and terrified, Yuki lashed out at the shark, kicking and flailing her arms desperately trying to ward off the predator. The water churned around her as she fought to keep the shark at bay, her adrenaline-fueled movements echoing the primal struggle for survival. On the shore, Yuki's friends had noticed the commotion in the water. Panic spread among them as they realized their friend was in grave danger. They rushed into action without hesitation, waving their arms and shouting for help. Beachgoers nearby joined the effort, some grabbing surfboards and paddling toward the tumultuous scene. The collective efforts of those on the shore seemed to distract the great white shark momentarily. It turned its attention toward the approaching surfers, its massive dorsal fins slicing through the water. This brief respite allowed Yuki to regain some control. With every ounce of strength she possessed, she swam toward her surfboard, which had drifted a short distance away. As she reached her surfboard and pulled herself onto it, she couldn't help but look fearful at the shark, which continued to circle nearby. Yuki's heart pounded as she clung to the board, her eyes never leaving the menacing predator. The surfers who had rushed to Yuki's aid arrived in time, forming a protective circle around her with their boards. The beachgoers on the shore continued to shout and wave, drawing the attention of lifeguards, who quickly sped toward the scene on jet skis. The great white shark, faced with the combined efforts of the surfers and the approaching lifeguards, finally decided to abandon its pursuit. With a powerful stroke of its tail, it disappeared into the ocean's depths, leaving behind a trail of churning water. Yuki was shaken but alive, her body trembling with fear and relief. She was helped back to the shore by her friends and the surfers who had come to her rescue. The beachgoers who had witnessed the encounter applauded their heroism, grateful that the outcome had not been tragic. The incident left an indelible mark on Yuki. Once a place of wonder and solace, the ocean now held a new perspective for her. She had come face to face with the ocean's apex predator, and the encounter had been a stark reminder of the unpredictable and unforgiving nature of the sea. In the days that followed, Yuki found it difficult to shake the trauma of the attack. The once inviting waters of California had become a source of dread, and she couldn't bear to set foot in the ocean again. Her friends understood her fear and supported her decision to stay on the shore during their subsequent surfing trips. Instead of the waves, Yuki turned her attention to marine conservation efforts. She began to educate herself about sharks and their role in the ecosystem, realizing that the great white shark was not a mindless monster, but a vital part of the ocean's delicate balance. She joined local conservation organizations and started advocating for the protection of these apex predators. Time passed, and Yuki's fear gradually gave way to a deep respect for the ocean and its inhabitants. She channeled her passion and knowledge into raising awareness about the importance of preserving marine life. Her journey from victim to advocate inspired others to see sharks in a new light, not as mere threats, but as creatures worthy of protection. As Yuki stood on the shores of California watching the waves roll in, she knew that her encounter with the great white shark had profoundly changed her life. She had found a purpose beyond riding the waves, a mission to protect the ocean that had once terrified and enchanted her. With all its mysteries and dangers, the sea had become a source of inspiration and a reminder that even in the face of fear, one could find the courage to make a difference. Mark Stevens had always dreamed of sailing the pristine waters off New Zealand's coast, and he finally had the chance to do so with his closest friends. The group of 5 had embarked on a sailing trip to the remote Kubel Island, a rugged paradise surrounded by the vast expanse of the Southern Ocean. The clear skies and gentle breeze made it a perfect day for sailing as their boat, the Seafarer, glided through the azure waters. As they approached Kubel Island, excitement filled the air. The island's untouched beauty promised adventure and exploration, and they couldn't wait to drop anchor and begin their journey on land. With its lush vegetation and diverse wildlife, the island seemed like a world away from their everyday lives. But an unexpected terror struck when they were 700 meters away from their destination. The tranquil sea erupted in chaos as a massive white shark surfaced beneath their boat. The impact was catastrophic, and the Seafarer capsized, throwing the friends into the frigid waters. Panic seized the group as they clung to debris from the capsized boat, their hearts racing with fear. The shark's eyes fixed on them circled ominously. The 5 friends realized they were in a life-or-death situation, their fight for survival beginning in the unforgiving waters of the Southern Ocean. Desperation fueled their actions as they collectively worked to move the shark away from their makeshift refuge. With frantic gestures and sudden movements, they attempted to deter the predator, using every ounce of their strength to keep it at bay. The shark was relentless, its immense power a stark reminder of their vulnerability in this hostile environment. Amidst the chaos, Billy Chris retrieved her waterproof phone and dialed the Coastal Guard helpline. Her voice trembled as she pleaded for help, providing their coordinates and describing their dire situation. The operator assured her that help was coming, but the wait felt interminable as the shark continued to circle. The group's collective efforts began to take a toll on their strength, and exhaustion set in. They knew they needed to make it to the safety of Kubel Island, their only hope of escape from the relentless predator. With grim determination, they began the arduous swim toward the island, their eyes constantly scanning the water for any sign of the shark's return. The journey to the island was a grueling test of endurance. The icy waters sapped their energy, and the fear of the great white shark's presence hung over them like a dark cloud. Despite their exhaustion and anxiety, they pushed forward, their hearts set on reaching the refuge of solid ground. Hours passed, and the shoreline of Kubel Island drew nearer. Their strength waned, but the determination to survive propelled them forward. They finally felt the solid sand beneath their feet as they staggered ashore, their relief palpable. Perhaps the great white shark had lost interest because it disappeared into the ocean's depths. The friends collapsed onto the beach, their bodies trembling and their clothes soaked. They were battered and bruised, but they were alive. The call to the Coastal Guard had borne fruit, and a rescue team was dispatched to their location. They huddled together on the shore, waiting anxiously for the arrival of their rescuers. When the rescue team finally reached Kubel Island, the friends were greeted with relief and gratitude. They were transported back to safety, leaving behind the treacherous waters that had threatened to claim their lives. Their encounter with the great white shark had been a terrifying ordeal that would stay with them for the rest of their lives. After their traumatic experience, the friends shared a newfound perspective on the ocean's apex predator. They understood the delicate balance of the marine ecosystem and the need for conservation efforts to protect these magnificent creatures. They became advocates for shark conservation, working to dispel the myths and misconceptions surrounding these apex predators. As they stood on the shore watching the waves crash against the rocks, they knew their bond had been strengthened by the ordeal they had faced together. Once a source of joy and adventure, the ocean had shown them its unforgiving side. but it had also revealed their resilience and the power of friendship in the face of adversity. The memory of that day would forever be etched in their minds, a reminder of the fragile line that separates life and death in the vast expanse of the Southern Ocean. As they moved forward, they deeply respected the sea and the creatures that inhabited it, knowing that every journey into the water was a venture into the unknown, where courage and determination were their most significant allies. Jessica Reynolds and Alina Bennett had always been adventurers, seeking the thrill of the great outdoors whenever possible. Their latest adventure took them to the pristine beauty of Kristen Island, nestled in the heart of the Gulf of Alaska. The island was a remote paradise known for its rugged landscapes and emerald green waters. As the two friends set up camp on the secluded beach, they marveled at the untouched beauty surrounding them. Towering pine trees lined the shore, and the air was filled with the soothing scent of the forest. The turquoise waters lapping at the sandy beach beckoned to them, promising a refreshing escape from the rigors of daily life. On a warm and sunny morning, Jessica and Alina decided to swim in the crystal-clear waters of the Gulf of Alaska. The green-blue expanse stretched out before them, inviting them to plunge in. With excitement bubbling, they donned their swimsuits and waded into the water, feeling the cool embrace of the ocean. Their laughter echoed in the pristine surroundings as they swam further from the shore, reveling in the moment's serenity. The sun cast dancing reflections on the water's surface, creating an idyllic scene that felt like a dream. But their dreamlike swim took a terrifying turn when Alina spotted something lurking beneath the surface. At first, it was just a shadow, but their hearts pounded with dread as it drew closer. It was a massive, great white shark, its dark form contrasting sharply with the vibrant water. Fear gripped Jessica and Alina as they realized the danger they were in. They immediately abandoned their leisurely swim and began to swim frantically toward the shore. Sheer terror fueled their strokes as they pushed themselves to safety. The great white shark, however, had other plans. It followed closely behind, its cold, unfeeling eyes locked onto the two swimmers. The predator's powerful form sliced effortlessly through the water, closing the gap between them. Jessica and Alina's hearts raced as they felt the shark's presence drawing nearer. Their adrenaline surged as they finally reached the shallows, their feet finding solid ground beneath them. Gasping for breath, they stumbled out of the water, their bodies trembling with fear. The great white shark denied its prey and circled just beyond the breaking waves, a reminder of the danger lurking beneath the serene surface. With a newfound sense of urgency, Jessica and Alina wasted no time seeking help. They rushed to their campsite and immediately contacted the local authorities, providing them with a detailed account of the encounter. The officers assured them they would take the necessary measures to ensure their safety. The response from the authorities was swift and resolute. Their experience with Megan and her friend's experience with the great white shark had highlighted the need for immediate action. They sealed off the campsite, barricading access to the beach, and posted prominent warning signs. The message was clear: swimming was forbidden until further notice. The safety of the campers remained their top priority. Officials worked diligently to assess the situation, deploying marine experts to monitor the waters and gather insights into the shark's behavior. With unwavering determination, they aimed to create a safe environment where visitors could once again enjoy the natural beauty of Kristen Island, without fear of unexpected encounters with the ocean's apex predators. The days that followed were filled with a sense of unease. Jessica and Alina, once fearless adventurers, found themselves wary of the very ocean they had been drawn to. They observed the water, never straying far from the shore. The presence of the great white shark had cast a long shadow over their once carefree camping trip. Weeks passed, and the authorities continued to monitor the situation. They employed shark spotters and took measures to study the predator's behavior. It became evident that the great white shark had moved on, its curiosity sated by its brief encounter with Jessica and Alina. With the assurance of safety, the campsite was eventually reopened. The once deserted shores of Kristen Island were once again filled with the joyful laughter of campers and the sounds of nature. The return to normalcy was a testament to the island's and its visitors' resilience. Jessica and Alina, although still wary of the ocean, found solace in the knowledge that their ordeal had prompted necessary precautions to protect future visitors. They had played a part in ensuring that the pristine beauty of Kristen Island could be enjoyed with greater peace of mind, and their bond with nature remained unbroken despite the challenges they had faced. Standing on the same beach where they had faced their terrifying encounter, they gazed at the now calm waters of the Gulf of Alaska. The sun cast a golden hue over the sea, and the distant cry of seagulls filled the air. The island's natural beauty remained unchanged, a witness to the enduring allure of the great outdoors. Jessica and Alina knew that their love for adventure would continue to draw them to the wild and untamed places of the world. They had faced the unforgiving side of nature and emerged stronger for it, with a profound respect for the mysteries of the ocean and the creatures that inhabited it. As they looked out at the vast expanse of the Gulf of Alaska, they were reminded that even in the face of danger, there was beauty and wonder in the world that was worth exploring. They were determined to continue their journey with caution, courage, and reverence for the wild,